Thank you so much for joining us this week on World of Art right here on OGTV. My name is Miriam Usman. Every week we bring you artists in the world of art, and together we explore the advantages there is to visual art and the blessings it brings to our everyday lives. This program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shillong, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, grand donor and chairman of Council Yemisi Shillong Museum of Art. Today joining us on the program is Olatubosun Ojo, and he's an art consultant. A lot of things on the program today, and he's going to take us through the topic informal art studio practice and what it entails. And you know, by the end of this program, before the end of this program, you're expected to call in and ask our guest question. Don't forget, when you call in, please try as much as you can to turn down the volume of your TV set. World of Art is streaming live on Facebook. You can send in your messages via the streaming platform, and be rest assured that we will take your questions before the end of the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on the program.
So, informal art studio practice and work ethics. Let us start by discussing, I know there's just been this disparity between artists, formal artists and informal artists, but is there really need for this disparities?
Well, there is no need for disparity because actually, let me put it this way: formal arts work or formal arts studio practice is academic, and informal is non-academic approach. So definitely there is difference, but then we work for the same aim or the same goal. So when we are talking about informal art studio practice, we are talking about self-individualism. I mean, portraying a master approach to work, having your own initiative and self-discovery, working as a master in your own studio in a non-academic formal setting. So that is informal art studio practice.
We have a lot of them in the society today, and truth be told, they are also very, very talented, very skilled in this world of art. Okay. The difference is, you know, the education is always going to, you know, pose a challenge sometimes. But I want you to talk to us about the practice. What makes a formal studio practice different from an informal studio practice?
Okay, that is fantastic. In an informal art studio practice, there is a, what you call a mentor and mentee setting. That is, we have a mentor, which likes to be the master artist. Then we have the mentee, those that are following the
apprentice.
That is the apprentice that are following the master. Now, in an informal setting, we have self-discovery, we have self-approach to work, we have self-reliance, and then it's not academic in the sense that the artist or the master artist in the studio have the right to initiate ideas. He works with his own personal ideas. Inspiration comes within when you are working in your studio. As in an informal studio setting, inspiration comes, and you'll be able to analyze your work, ideas, concepts, approach to work, and the materials to be used. You decide it in your own studio, and the follower or the learners or the mentee we also follow in that line. So in an informal studio setting, there is a mentor and there is a mentee. So the mentee learns from the mentor, and along the line, he also or she also introduces his own idea. He develops his own idea, his own concept, and it makes him or her also a master artist as time goes on.
Are you saying this is absent in a formal studio practice?
It's not really absent. You know, when we have the formal setting, that most of the time you are being directed, you are being instructed, and it has to be academical. But when you are in an informal setting, there is freedom. For example, if I'm working in my studio, the idea can come or the inspiration can come, and I can be able to analyze my work, my concept, the materials that I will use, and other things that follows, the approach. So there is freedom, there is confidence, there is approach to work you are working upon. I can categorically tell you that I became more professional when I'm working personally in my own studio than when I was in the institution.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. would you recommend this informal practice for tertiary institution students or those who have had to go acquire art in the formal education?
Well, I wouldn't support that notion. The issue is that formal setting is okay, it's excellent. You'll be exposed, and academic education is very, very important. So I have both. I have worked as an apprentice in an informal setting, and also I've gained an admission to the university to work as a professional. So I combine the two, and it makes me a master artist now. So what am I trying to say now is that in an informal setting, it's just an advantage for you to be able to be independent on your own. Actually, the master, which is the mentor, can also direct, can also instruct, but it has limitation. There is room for mentee, that is the learners, to be able to express themselves with the guidance or with the guide of a mentor. So in an informal setting, there is a kind of freedom, kind of using your own concept, developing your own inspiration or your own idea, and work with the materials available. So in an informal setting, it's always help the learners to grow faster, though with guide.
Can you give us examples of this informal setting, informal practice of art, a setting of...
Okay, fantastic. Let me start from a colonial era to post-colonial era. We have the Imbayo Club around 1958 to 62 at Osogbo. There were a group of artists, theater artists, and their works that are being published around that time. That was an informal setting. Most of those artists later went to their institution, but they have gained knowledge, they have gained a lot of experiences. I'll also tell you another informal setting. We have the Osogbo artist that was coordinated by the late Susan Wenger and Olibaya. We have most of our master artists now, they were combined together, they put them together. There were a lot of workshops around that time. I'm talking about the 60s. They put them together. They had an informal setting. There is a kind of bistro, exchanging of ideas, principles, and they mix together, and an influence by which they relate with each other. There is kind of friendship. They learn from each other. You come with your own idea as an artist, I come with my own idea. We learn together. We experience, we share ideas, and it develops their inner self. So, and even now, of recent time, there's one or two workshops that we have. We have the Yamata workshop that has been in the foundation, the Rubber Foundation, that has been running. I think I've been there twice or 3 times, and I'll be a consultant to such workshop. We also have, there is one that I'm hearing now, but I think I have to be there at Tamara, I think in Osun State.
Yes, I've heard of that.
So, and besides that, even me, that is why I have my own arts academy, if I may say that. And I've been working upon that for about 3 years now, but I know that with the time, it's going to be manifested beyond this level. And we also have 1 or 2 workshops or informal studio setting that enables learners, because let me tell you the truth, everybody cannot go to their institution. That one is fact. But we artists, we master artists, we should be able to create an avenue for everybody to be able to get along with our profession.
I do agree with you. Let me quickly remind our viewers that you can join in on the conversation by calling the phone line or send us messages via our social media handles. Don't forget, World of Art is brought to you by Prince CMC Shillong, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, Grand Donor and Chairman of Council CMC Shillong Museum of Art. Keep watching, there's more on the program. That's the phone line. Please do what to call us. When you do, please tone down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you clearly. Now, you just made mention of some of the benefits there is to informal art practice. Okay. And I want us to talk about the challenges, because as much as there are benefits sometimes, most times there are also challenges. So let's talk about the challenges that could be for the practice of art in an informal setting.
Yes, now, when now ask about these challenges, this is where the formal setting has to come in. Because, yes, I must say the truth. Because in my own studio now, I have about 3 of them now. But because we are not in a formal setting, there are some things that I have to repeat and repeat and repeat. That is one. Secondly, in terms of art language, at times I might be introducing or be saying some terms that they don't understand. I have to come down to their level. But assuming it's an academic setting, I just talk about materials or talking about improvisation, they understand what I'm talking about. But if I'm talking to a layman, that I'm talking about improvisation, I'm talking about some materials or some terms, then I have to come down to their level. That is one of the challenges. Secondly, is that in an informal setting, at times materials can be an aspect, financial aspect of it. Financial aspect of it. So what we do in an informal setting is that at times we improvise, we look for local materials at times. At times we look for local materials. Then at times, inavailability of materials, that is financial aspects now. But then, any available materials that we have, we work with it. The major thing is that you have an idea or you have a concept, you develop the concept and you get your, you achieve your aim. So that is the major task that we can say we achieve. But a lot of challenge, there is no way that there is no challenge. Even in the academic setting, at times we are given an assignment to do. You don't have money. At times you have money. You have to go from one town to another to do research, to do this. So there is no way of life that will not meet challenges. So it's everywhere.
Is ethics also a challenge in the informal setting? Let's talk about the ethics in the practice of art.
Okay. I think the word ethics is all over, whether it's formal or informal. Ethics has to do with rules and regulations. It has to do with moral values. It has to do with do's and don'ts in any organization, and it's everywhere. So now we are focusing on the workshop ethics or studio ethics. Yes, there are directions, there are rules, and other things that you have to follow. I remember I have participated in several workshops. When you get to the workshop, they will tell you, they will analyze. The organizers of the workshop, they will analyze to you.
All right, let's take this call and then we'll come back to that. Thank you so much for joining us, Engineer Akin.
Okay, am I on now?
Yes, you are, please.
Okay. The informal and formal setting you people are discussing there, I'm interested in it. The informal is all about artisans and non-graduates, while the formal is about the graduates, if I'm clear.
Did you get the...
No, you can come again.
Could you come again? Yes.
Hello?
Yes, could you come again?
I said the informal setting and the formal setting of what demand the artist is talking about. I want to be clear. The informal is all about the artisans that are not educated.
Okay.
That is informal. Then the formal setting is about the graduates, the educated ones.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
Hello? Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
I am.
My question now is, that informal setting, is there any limit at which they can go because of their education? Is there any limit at which they can go because of their education? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay. That is a fantastic question. Let me put it this way. Yes, some of the artisans are under informal setting. Let me put myself as an example. Before I got admission into the university, I have learned as an apprentice screen painter. I learned in an informal setting for about 3.5 years, and I graduated. And at least I can practice to some level. But I decided to go to the university. When I got to the university, there are some other advantages that you have in the university. You might not get them in the informal setting. That is fact. I am here today. It is the formal setting that brought me here. Can you see? We have many artists outside that they are artisans. They can paint very well, but they cannot totally express themselves. You understand? You have an idea, you have a concept, you cannot be able to defend it, but you are a good artist. But in a formal setting, the formal setting or the formal institution will put you in the right place and in the right order. So both work together. Can you see?
I actually do agree with you. You see, this is also it's a sector or an industry or a sphere of our lives that, you know, there's a lot of intellectual work that goes into it. And then you need formal education to help you protect your intellectual property. And that's what a lot of artists do not know, who do not experience the formal setting. And we've seen scenarios as well where these artists, because they do not have the formal orientation, they get robbed of their entitlement, especially when it comes to collectors and exhibitions and all of that. So I do agree with you when you bring the... Now, the second question is there an extent you can learn art in an informal setting? You know, there are some things that you would want to learn, but they tell you that, no, you can't do this. You have to go to the tertiary institution. Yeah, so that's this question. Is there a limit? Is there a particular place you can learn art, and then they say, no, go back to the institution? And
well, what I will say about that is that for any learner, aspiring learner that wants to learn, I will advise that you look for master artists like we. For example, I'm a graduate. You cannot compare me with somebody that is on the roadside. He's also an artist. He can paint very well. He can draw very well, but there is differences. We have differences. So I will advise that any aspiring artist or aspiring art learners that want to learn should, look for us. For example, I have my own studio. So if you come to me or any master artist, he will be able to guide you. Even while working, you can still write exams and make your jam and go to the university. That's what I did. For the past, the 3 years that I was learning as an informer, I always do WAEC. I always write WAEC every year. I didn't make it. The year that I supposed to graduate, that was the year that I made my papers, and that was the year that I wrote JAM, and I wrote JAM once in my life. The year I wrote JAM, that year was the year that I supposed to graduate, and that was the year that I got admitted to the university. So as I was graduating, from my mentor, I got to the university. So can you see? So as I was just leaving the informal setting, I'm moving to formal. So it balanced. So most of the things that my lecturers are teaching me, I know them already. In fact, I have a fantastic degree, fantastic results in the institution. At times, a lecturer will be teaching me something, I will just be smiling because I have it. What you are teaching me, theoretically, I know it practically, I will just be smiling. Immediately, we leave the class, I go ahead and do my assignment the same day. So it has helped me as a person. So I always use myself as an example to other learners that are coming. Even to viewers at home, you have your kids or your works that they want to study fine art or any other related art. It's better to go through informal setting. They would have gotten the technical aspect of it. So by the time they get to the university or polytechnic, they don't have any problem. Whatsoever the teacher or the lecturer is, coming with, they know where the person is going to.
So from secondary school, primary school, they could still learn.
Definitely. Even some of them now, they always come to me now. They are in SS1, SS2. I say, go and call your parents. I want to see your parents. When they come with their parents, I'll say, okay, we are going to do it this way. Your education, your secondary education is not very important. But then, the time that you used to be playing around 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m., you can come to the studio, learn 1 or 2 things. You are upgrading yourself. By the time you get to the institution, it will be easy for you.
And also think, you see, art over the years has started evolving into technology. There's digital art and all of this. And also, these are the things you also get from the school setting. And each artist, that do not have the idea, or those artists that have to go learn art from the informal setting, will be left out to a very large extent. Some of the digital approach there is to art. Honestly, these conversations are what we actually need to keep on the run to ensure that people are carried along. Now, we were talking about studio practice.
I want you to speak with to please support their...
Thank you, Daniel, for joining us. Kindly come again with your question.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I should call back again.
No, you can go ahead now.
Okay. So, according to what they are saying is that you need to have a hard work before go to university, or is it for you to go to the university before any other thing?
Okay, it's a good question.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. Please keep watching World of Art. You see, it's very important we explain this in details.
Okay.
And I think you are not saying it's compulsory you learn the informal, because that's his question now. That are you saying you should learn the informal before going to formal?
No. If, for example, you are in SS3 now, you write to IEC now, you write the exam, and you have been given an admission, please go. I'm talking from my own experience on what I passed through.
Yeah.
I said that I have passed through the informal. It helped me. When I was in the university with my colleagues, especially in the graphics and the printing aspect, even the lecturer at times, he do laugh that I know it, and I'll be like, I don't know anything. So it helps me as a person. But for any learner or aspiring learner, you can, if you get your admission, please go.
Yes.
But if you don't get your admission, why waiting for another year? Why can't you learn from informal setting? Just learn something. Don't waste your time. That is the point I'm raising.
Yes, I think your point is very, very clear. Okay. Well, let's go back to the ethics. You know, practicing artists who do not have the formal education also lack this studio ethics.
Okay.
So let's talk about briefly about studio practice, ethics, and its importance for informal setting as well.
Okay.
You know, when we talk about ethics, it also involves the safety, the use of your materials and all of that, and the environment. Okay. Yes.
Okay. I will use this opportunity to talk to some of our artists outside. Well, it's a stage anyway. I have done that, but I don't do that again. For example, you call me now, as at now, I'm not around 5 years ago. You call me now, I say you like my artwork. You have to talk on the legal terms. Me, I'm talking as at now. I don't know about 10 years ago. I don't know about 5 years ago when I was in Lagos, all the way up and down. That's why I said it has a stage. Now,
when you say talk legal terms, what do you mean?
Of course, you want to buy my work, or you want to use my work. Maybe you want to make a publication of your book or something like that. You have to agreement with me. At least there's a token, there's an agreement. You just not pick my work and do that. There is going to be a legal, for that. Then also, we also have a copyright commission now.
Yes.
Some of we artists, we should be able to register our work with copyright commission. Even our write-up and everything like that is part of the ethics. We should be able to organize ourselves. As an artist, you should be able to organize yourselves. You understand? And we artists should be able to dominate art scene now. Though there are some patrons that also do that. It's okay. But artists should be able to manage, or we should be able to manage our profession. That's what I'm talking about. Then in terms of ethics as well, at times I do see some related works. You see a work and you see another work. For me, I have taken my own style. I don't follow any style. Though I've learned from master. I have mentor. As I'm talking, I have mentor. As I'm talking now, I have mentor. But you can never see me copying from my mentor. I can borrow an idea.
Can guide you.
Exactly, I can borrow concepts, but I have my own style. So all these are part of the ethics.
All right, thank you so much. This topic is quite an interesting one, but we have to go.
No problem.
You've done justice to the topic of conversation today. I want to say a very big thank you. And I trust our viewers gathered one or two things for themselves on the program today. This is where you get it purely and directly from the practitioners. Don't forget, our guests are always experts in their various practice of art. My name is Miriam Usman. This program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shillong, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, grand donor and chairman of Council Yemisi Shillong Museum of Art. I'll see you next week with another guest where we talk more on art. Until then, bye for now.